Hello all, Scott Grove here. Going to do some reviews on a couple more guitars I recently acquired. Today's offering being a 1982 Gibson Victory MVX. Okay, I know, a whole bunch of stuff to get a hold of there. Check this puppy out. Okay, got that big old headstock on there. Anyway, this is, like I said, 1982. They were trying something different again, and they got something different. They make this in all kinds of different varieties. You know, they had them with the Floyd Rose thing on them. They had, you know, whammy bars. They had a just two humbucker version of this also. Okay, so what you basically see here is what appears to be a humbucker, a single coil, and another humbucker. In all actuality, they're all three humbuckers. Okay, you just got a stacked one right here in the size of a single coil, but it's two of them on top of each other. You have a 5-way switch, which does exactly what you would think. Back here, it's, you know, your bridge. Position 2 is the bridge and your middle pickup. In the middle is your middle. Again is your the 4 position is your middle one and your neck, and 5 is finally again in your neck by itself. Okay, now what happens is, and you have to understand that there is a difference when you see guitars with the little switches. Some of them are coil taps, some of them are coil splitters, some of them are phase switches. No, not phase shifters. Everybody who has a phase switch, especially in the old Ibanez Roadstars or Blazers, no, it's not a phase shifter. It's a phase switch. It reverses the phase of the pickups. And they do all kinds of other things, but there is a huge difference between coil splitting and coil tapping. This is coil splitting, which means that it will take a humbucker and it will shut off one side of it, so it splits it, so it's only half of it working. So it goes into single coil mode. A coil tap is not the same thing. Okay, so don't be confusing them and calling the wrong thing all the time. A coil tap is actually, you can even have coil taps on single coil pickups and simply tap the coil where you're actually it's changing it from series to a parallel wiring type of deal. Okay, so coil splitting is you're splitting this thing in half and you're shutting it off. That's the easiest way to remember. So you're splitting that humbucker in half. That's a coil split. A coil tap is something completely different. Okay, so these are coil splits. So with this switch right down here, my jack is loose, right there. So I have to change that. So that if you hear that throughout the day, I still got to get to work on that. These are coil splits. No humbucker sounds like it should after it has this put in it to split it. So the other Victory guitars that have just the two humbuckers, the same humbuckers, they're not splittable, and then they actually sound a lot different when you don't put that extra circuitry in there to split them. So it does take away from it. So your humbuckers no longer sound like real humbuckers, and your single coil version don't quite sound like a real single coil either. So it takes away from both. So you're not going to get both. The only way you're going to get both is, well, you can have a mounting ring here, put a single coil sized single coil right there, and right next to it mount a single coil sized like dual rails humbucker. So you actually have both real pickups. But when you go and split these things, they will not sound like the real thing. There'll be a happy medium between them. Okay, so there's kind of what that's all about. So all you people who think that you're getting humbucker sounds and single coil sounds, you're getting half-ass versions. Okay, so the only way to get the real ones is to put a real single coil here and a real humbucker here and have on and off switches for each one. Otherwise, nope, can't do it. Okay, so again, this one is they're all three humbuckers. This one switch right here, when it's in the down position where it's at now, all pickups split at the same time. So it pseudo represents a Stratocaster. So it's in essence 3 single coils. When it's here, flick it up, everything goes into full shred humbucking mode, and you have 3 humbuckers to choose from, and you can have 3, because you got a 5-way switch, you can actually turn on 2 of the humbuckers at the same time, here and here, and here and here. Whereas with so many other 3 pickup Gibson guitars, you can't do that because you only have a 3-way toggle switch. Okay, so let's bring it down here to where the star is. You can quit looking at my pretty face. This guitar, master volume, master tone, 5-way switch, typical old stop tailpiece and all that junk that falls off your guitar when you take your strings off. So you take your strings off, everything falls off just like a typical Gibson. As you can see, the nasty finish, that's because it's nitro. If it's poly, it'd be nice and pretty, but no, nitro is developed to make it look like it's 100 years old within about a year's playing time. So when you go to polish this up, what do? You get smears of the finish. You get nitro that actually smears on here, so it'll never be really shiny again. It wipes off onto the rag. It'll wipe off on your clothes. What's the difference between nitro and poly? Nothing, other than nitro just makes your guitar look older quicker. Do they sound any different on a guitar? No. If you take your guitar and sand it down to bare wood, will it sound any different? No. Thousands of people out there are going to go, what a dumbass. No, you're the dumbass. I'm through messing with a lot of you because that's just the way it really is. There's so many preconceptions about everything. Well, ash sounds different than maple, sounds different than mahogany. No, none of it makes any difference at all once you're plugged in. If it's acoustic, yes, your guitar, if you shut the volume down, the wood and everything else will make a difference, every little thing. But as soon as you plug the cord in and turn the volume up, nothing makes a difference. Only your pickups and what your string alloy is. Nothing else makes a difference except for the electronics in it. But whatever your wood's made out of, whatever your finish is made out of, blah blah blah, nothing makes a difference. Okay, and that is the God's truth. Strike you down and strike me down if I'm wrong, because I'm not. Now, the coolest thing this has on it are the tuning keys. God knows what the hell these are, but they are the one thing that everybody should have, and I get to yell at somebody else. Let me see if I can undo my strap here. Cool strap buttons, by the way. They have the, if I can even find them on this guitar to show them to you, those big old honking things. There's a decent view. Big old deals there. You notice also the position markers are all here at the top, kind of like all the, a lot of Washburns do that. But anyway, these tuners are locking tuners, and not only are they locking tuners, these are some of the first locking tuners ever put out there, but they also trim your string off for you. So you unlock them just by undoing the little thing and your string comes right out. But when you put your string in these things and you go to tighten them up, you don't have to tighten up the back of it like you do a typical locking tuner. You don't have to tighten up that wheel. As soon as you start tightening up to get your attention on here, they start tightening up for you back here, plus it cuts your string off for you. So there is no chance of you going around with that stupid ass look of your strings hanging off all over the place, ready to poke somebody's eyeball out. So for you people, excuse me, there's that bad jack again. So you people that leave all your strings hanging out to poke everybody with, that looks dumber than all hell. Cut off your stupid strings. Okay? Give it a haircut. Don't let your strings all dangle and poke around and wrap around. So this eliminates that. It is impossible. It chops them off. You can't see a single thing there because as soon as you tighten it up, pop, the string pops off. So that's just like all you people that walk around with your pants around your kneecaps. It's like pull your flippin' pants up. So it's the same damn thing. You don't know how stupid you look when you got your strings hanging off your guitar. You don't know how stupid you look with your pants down around your flippin' ankle or so, Well, you're wearing your belt around your ankles. Okay, so let's get to the sounds of this thing. Okay, I've got it in single coil mode now, so everything is split. Okay, so here is the bridge in single coil mode, clean. Position number 2, so like a Strat. middle. In the fourth position. So you got your middle and your neck. Okay, and the neck. Okay, now we're going to slip everything into humbucking. Here's the bridge in humbucking. Position number 2, so you have this humbucker and the middle humbucker now. So you can still kind of hear kind of a single coily sound, even though that is humbucker. They never go quite back to humbucker sounding. In the middle, that is a middle humbucker. So you can tell that is not a single coil. Fourth position. So you've got the middle humbucker and the neck humbucker. And finally, the neck humbucker by itself. Which is the first one that actually sounds like a total humbucker. Okay, so that's basically it on the guitar. You have, your neck is set like this. Okay, it's a heavy guitar. There's nothing light about this guitar. These are, I believe, maple. They're actually not mahogany for once. They actually use like all maple for this one. Go figure. People are like, that's why it's so bright. No, it could be made out of concrete. Go on YouTube, look up concrete guitars. People have made them out of cement blocks. Put the pickups from whatever in it, and it sounded exactly the way it did on a $5,000 Les Paul. But they just put it all in a concrete block and blah blah blah. So it's been proven a million times. Same thing with the acoustic electrics. They put the piezo pickup on a cement block and it sounded just like the $5,000 Martin it was in before. So anyway, once again, I win. None of it makes any difference what the wood is. Anything else once you plug it in. Here we go with just typical. I'm going to use both humbuckers here. Okay, bridge and the middle. I'll go to just a... Let's go to the neck humbucker. I'll go back right here to the bridge, just with some dirt. Here's the neck. Here's the middle humbucker. Let's go with the wah with the neck. Okay, so useful tones. Here we are back in single coil mode. I'll put it in the 4 position. Okay, so it's actually, guitar actually sounds kind of woody. It's one of the first, I know you're making fun of my wood. There you go. Anyway, but it actually has a, what they call a woody tone to it. So, not a sustain. It's a Gibson with no sustain, go figure. They have to throw a compressor on there to get any sustain out of this thing. It just does not do it. And that's just because it don't. It's going over this crappy bone nut thing. Had that been metal, yeah, you'd probably have some sustain. You got sustain when you got fret. But you do it open, and it dies pretty quick because the nut is made out of something different than the frets. Dumb idea. Anyway, but there you go. You got a bound neck. Everything's bound there. It's a cool shape. It's just un-Gibson-like, but extremely cool, rare guitars, actually.